Sorry about the wait. But this is MZ.TR. She's such a sweet, beautiful. Y'all see how beautiful she is? She is
Thank
so
you.
beautiful.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
um, so she's gonna talk about her being a survivor of breast cancer,
Yes, yes.
and she's gonna tell a little bit about herself, and she's gonna get into it. I'm not hearing anything. Y'all not hearing? They say they're not
Mhm.
hearing. It's interesting.
Wow.
Somebody else let me know if y'all can hear.
Because I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you clear. I'm finna this finna come up so it'll tell me if I can hear on this end. Let me see. I can hear the playback.
Maybe the person that can't hear us, maybe they could go out and come back in.
Candace say she can hear. Crystal say she can hear.
Okay, well then maybe it's the person that can't hear us.
If somebody else let me know if they can hear.
Maybe they need to go out and come back in.
Yeah. Candace, you might need to go out and come back in because everybody else can hear.
Somebody said she can hear us both now. Okay, great. That's wonderful. Well, I am the only one and only Miss TR as I go by. And what I guess I'll just give you a little brief synopsis of what I am and where I was. Well, for one, I'm a director and producer in my town. I live in New Jersey. I was with a big cable company just before the pandemic where I direct and produce shows. So I'm familiar with the cameras and stuff like that. And but I'm talking about studio cameras, not in-house cameras like your phone and stuff like that. I'm still learning that because they keep updating stuff, so I can't keep kind of hard to keep up with it. And with me getting older, my brain doesn't click as much as I like it used to.
Yes.
And I'm a mother of one. She blessed me with two granddaughters, and the oldest granddaughter blessed me with two great grand. I have a 10-year-old male, and I have a 2-year-old female. And the son is named Nehemiah, and the other one is Gianna. And both of them wear me out. I don't have it like I used to, like I was telling you to do. I don't have it like I used to. But anyway, I'm very known in my community. What I do, I teach young children from the age of 17 to about 18 on how to take what you love and turn it into be an entrepreneur. So I'm familiar with a lot of things. I'm kind of a jack of all trades because when I was coming up, you weren't considered a woman unless you knew how to do those things. So I was
Mm.
a housewife. So I know I could cook, I could clean, I could sew, I know how to knit, I know how to crochet, I know how to do needlepoint, I know how to do all those types of arts. But one
Mm.
thing, when I was like going through certain things, it's like I love to. I used to be a praise and worship dancer too until I got sick with cancer. I used to,
Oh, Candace used to do that too. I mean, I
yeah,
think she still do it.
and I used to make all the costumes, not only for me, but for the women, so the flags, whatever that was needed. I'm not a seamstress myself. I don't do anything that's going to have me putting hours and hours and hours in because my attention span is very short and I get bored quick. So I think that's the reason why I'm a jack of all trades and they say master of none because my niche is like spread it out all over.
Mm.
I used to have long locks like you, Khadija.
You did? Oh yeah, I did see that
Mm-hmm.
on your page. Gorgeous.
It's up
Gorgeous.
long, but when I got sick with the cancer, which I'm going to tell you about it, the chemo took it all out. Mm,
Oh.
yeah. And when it started growing back, then it was like a new, like it was a new me, a new history.
Oh
But
yeah.
into what it is with the cancer. Well, guys, I'm blessed to be here. I really am. I know that God held me down. And there's a lot of people that when you get sick with certain things, you got to really know the season that you're in with people. Sometimes you're only in for a certain length of time. A lot of times it's regardless, you learn a lesson learned,
Yes. Yes.
in everything that goes through. Your best friends, that think people that you think that will be with you during this time doesn't mean that be with you. Some people can't deal with people being sick because it gives them anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
Only there for their own personal gain. And my prayer was like, God, We, the ones that are not supposed to be around me because I need help here. I can't do this by myself. And I only have one daughter. And when you get diagnosed with cancer, first thing that comes to mind is not I'm going to beat this. When you get told your heart falls, you go through different stages of emotions. And the first,
Mm.
oh God, I'm going to die. And then you have to snap out of that because you have to be able to feed yourself positive to be able to make it through the first step. And you haven't even got fully into the first step. And the first step was them telling you this is what the outcome was of the testing. Now I'm gonna tell you first in steps how I knew about it. I started getting pain in both of my breasts. And
Mhm.
it's like it felt like needle pins and something burning in both of my breasts. And I'm like, boy, this is strange. But see, I go up and down in my weight, and a lot of times and you're not only that, I'm no skinny mini. Even though I gotten thicker, I was never skinny, shapely, yes, never.
Mhm.
So, and not only that, as you get older, you get lumps and bumps and stuff like that. And I had children. Although I only had one to show for it, I had a couple of miscarriages. But I had children, so your body changes. You
Yes.
and I was in my mid-50s when I got it, when I got cancer. And
Mm.
what it was is that I was like, and one day I was in the shower, and the best time to check yourself is when you're in the shower
Mm.
because you soak up your hands and
Okay.
your body underneath your arms and all underneath your breast, and the soap helps you slide. See how it is what I'm doing here, and you're
Yes,
able
ma'am.
a little pressure on it, and you get to feel all the lumps and bumps and things. And I felt a little thing, and I'm like, my heart fell. I was like, oh my God,
Mm.
isn't what I think it is. So, and then I'm like, dang, and my breast started to hurt, my armpit started hurting, and it was like, oh my God. So finally, I go to the doctors and I tell him, and he didn't touch me or check me. He says, you know what? I'm going to send you for testing. By the time I got the insurance okayed and all this other stuff, it took like a month. By that time, that thing came out. It was protruding out of my. See how that comes out? It's protruding.
Wow.
So when I went and got the mammogram, and the woman seen me. She goes, "No, I'm going to do a biopsy." I said, "Yeah, don't I got to get approval?" She goes, "No. If I see something right away, I can get it done." Girl, the thing was so hard. It hurt so bad. They gave me a little numbing cream. Girl, I was speaking in tongues, calling on Jesus and everything. And they sucked at me and they kept pulling tissue out. While it came
Mm.
after they finished all the testing, and this was the first year, the year before I did not get tested. 1 year. I had stage 3 breast cancer.
Wow. Scary. Ooh.
Stage 3. 3 now. 3. There's only like 2 more left. When you're in 4, you're like really borderline. And then next thing by 5, you're on your way out. I had stage 3 and it was very aggressive. I did chemo and I did radiation.
Mm.
I was very afraid of chemo. And my experience, I remember was diagnosed June of 2010.
Mhm.
Had the operation in October 27th, 2010. But when I went to go see the surgeon, checked me. He says, "Look," he had me scheduled for a mastectomy. I'm not like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "Oh, I'm just so bothered," and I was tired. I was tired of the doctors, tired of opinions and stuff like that. And my sister friend, her sister said, "I need to talk to her. I need to talk to her." So finally, she goes, "Look, I found out all the information you need." And I don't know if you ever heard of Cancer Treatment of America that's run on television.
Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah, they're one of the top cancer hospitals in the United States. They had it in I think it's Philadelphia, no, not Pennsylvania. So I finally got the okay, and I went there, and he told me he didn't have to remove my breast. Said he believed he could get it out. I had the surgery, and he got it, all of it out. He got a lot of He said he took so much lymph nodes out. He hoped nothing was left behind. But because they weren't sure, I had to do the chemotherapy. Now, if he figured that for positive, then what they would have did was did the radiation. They would have targeted, hit me a couple of times, maybe 3 times. I come to get it done, and that would be it. But because it was all up in my lymph nodes, That's when you have to take the chemo.
Mm.
I lost all my hair. I mean, there wherever you think there would be hair, there was none. I was bald, and I went through stages, and the wigs that they had was like old lady stuff.
Yeah.
It had,
Yeah.
and my daughter was buying wigs on me. I was putting on the hair, and it kept rolling around my head like a Chinese bowl on top of my head, and I just
Mm.
couldn't. And finally, you know what? I went on YouTube and started looking up like drag queen makeup and stuff like that, and that's how I learned to adorn myself.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that's when I had it done. I learned to do head wraps and stuff to that, and which helped me through the process. But ladies, it is so important. It's so important to get. I'm due for a test in another month. I got to schedule it, and because I'm having the same symptoms, I'm having the pain in my armpit and in my breasts again, but both this time. And the surgery left me. I still have my breast. It's just that it doesn't look like the other one. You know,
Okay.
all right. It has a big dimple in it at the top, and it's smaller than the other, but I still have my body parts. Um, it's just that we what happens is, ladies, especially us mothers, we put everyone ahead of us,
Yes.
and that's how we get. That's why we always end up sick. See, men
Mhm.
because they don't like doctors because they always scared. Scared. They the biggest baddest guy is the biggest punk because they don't like going to doctors. We don't really have a problem with going to the doctor. It's finding the time and making the time and putting ourselves first to be able to go. Especially
Yes. Yes.
when,
I agree.
especially when you're a mother. You know,
Mhm.
you never have the time because, and then next thing you know, a month done went by and stuff. Because that's what happened to me the first time. So I can't allow it to get by me this time because whatever it is, it has to be nipped in the bud right in the beginning. Because if you wait, cancer is like gangrene, man. It'll eat your body inside and out.
Yeah.
And also to help you out with it, excuse me, and not receiving cancer is your diet. The best that you could do. The best that you could do.
Mm.
Healthy is very expensive and it takes time and it takes a change from what you're raised to. People say, "Well,
Yes.
do this." Yes, you need to, but I can't. I can't because financially it's costly, and then it's not even guaranteed when they say organic that it is. They lie to us so much. The only way that it's organic if you grow it in your backyard. So
Yes, ma'am.
I advise people, even if you don't do nothing but take two Home Depot or Lowe's buckets, put a couple of holes at the bottom of them, and put some dirt and some compost and mix it in and start somewhere and start growing. I grow my own veggies now.
Yes.
You know, look up to see what you can get natural herbs from. You know, the weeds in your yard, some of them you can eat, your dandelions that go in
Yes.
your yard. Go to the park and start. The best place to get your weeds and stuff like that, and even some dirt, is someplace no farther than where you live at because it's going to grow better because whatever that's growing healthy around there, that's what's in your region, and it'll help grow it.
Yeah.
It's important to just pay attention to the elements. Try to get air filters. Do what you can. Do what you can because each time you do something that you can might save another day, another week in your house. Or try to find something that will kill the free radicals that run crazy in your body.
Yes.
Cancer is it's not pretty. I'm gonna be straight up. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it or anything. I'm gonna tell you just like it is, like they used to say. I'm gonna tell you just like it is.
Mhm.
But it's really important, ladies, for you to get it done. And breast cancer is becoming almost very popular in women of color,
Mhm.
known for us melanated people to get it. That used to be a Caucasian type disease, but
Exactly.
because of the way they,
Integration. I think
yeah,
it was integration.
yeah, yeah, that and what they feed us. They say you are what you eat. Yes, if you eat poison, what do you think that is comes what comes out? Yeah.
Yeah.
If you need Eating the medicine is like Western medicine. We have to rely on it for a lot of things because they have us conditioned. But
Yes.
you know what? There's certain things that you can take care of by just going in your yard and plucking it. Um, try to find raw honey. You know,
Mm-hmm.
these things to get away from the regular sugar cane.
Yeah.
Try. I know it's not easy. I used to drink coffee a lot, right? And I got away from the sugar. But then I didn't get away from the milk. And then the milk, people of color, after when you start getting older, you become lactose intolerant. You can't handle that milk anymore.
Yeah, it's a totally different milk that our ancestors. Our ancestors ate the raw milk. And the raw milk now, if you try to get it, you have to say you're getting it for your dog. But they say that's the best milk for you. If you go to the health food store, they selling it, but you can't buy it consumed because you think about it, Miss TK. You remember? I mean, Miss TR. You remember back in the days the milkman would come and bring the milk, and
Yeah, when you get it, it will separate the
yeah,
cream.
they would take this. They would use that to make the butter and the cream, and it you didn't hear nothing about lactose intolerant.
And our formula, they didn't have baby formula. You know what it was? The evaporated carnation milk. The evaporated milk was our baby's formula.
Yes, I
Mhm.
still drink. I drink that. I drink that. I drink it like sometimes when I want cereal. I rarely eat cereal, but I get that
I
and I
love it.
mix it with a little water
Yeah,
and
I like it in my hot cereal.
yeah, me too. Me
And
too.
my you're cooking. And a lot of people of color, we use it in our macaroni and cheese. We use it for our potatoes. We don't use regular white milk. But even you can get the raw milk at sort of like maybe Trader Joe's, but the cost of it.
It's so expensive here in Florida. If you go to the health food store and try to buy it, they mainly tell you that you can't buy it unless you buying it for like your dog or something like that. Ain't that something? But
People
I did
extremely-
some research on raw milk and it has a lot of healing properties. And I'm like, but we don't know what they're giving us in those containers.
Right, but it doesn't have to be pasteurized in order for it to be on the shelf or something with the raw milk.
I don't
They
I think they just don't want people to heal themselves, to be honest with you, beloved.
don't have like a
That's
good
what I think.
quality.
Cause
They have
I seen a whole this brother, and I'm gonna send it to you. He did a whole study about the benefits of raw milk.
mm-hmm.
And I noticed over the years a lot of us, like you say, is lactose intolerant. But think about it. My generation, your generation,
You can do that.
we either had the breast milk or the raw milk, you know? So it's a totally different thing.
It is a different thing, right along with our water, and it's like, oh my goodness. We had along the highway, there was a tap that used to just leak the spring water. People used to take it,
Yes, I remember that as a child.
and
Get-
now they locked it down. They lock it. If you get anything free, they want to charge you for everything.
Yeah,
And so
everything.
in your garden, and if you have stuff in the house that you're growing when it rains, put a container outside and collect that water.
Oh
That
yeah.
you may not be able to drink it, but you could bathe in it. You could feed your plants with it. You can wash your dishes with it. You could do so much with it.
Yeah, I it's a
Mhm.
spiritual element to rain. I
Wash your
always grab some.
Yeah, wash your hair. It's healthy. It's healthier
Mm-hmm.
than through the tap with all the chlorine and the chemicals.
Oh yes, ma'am.
There's ways that you can try to do things that are healthy. And I'm gonna tell you, people used to think that my daughter used to say, "Ma, you don't wash your hair but once a blue moon." When I had my long locks, for one, it took forever for it to dry. Okay, and I would never want it to get molded. I wash my hair maybe once a month, and but I didn't put a lot of stuff in my hair either for it to cake up. And I would in the summertime I didn't wash it. I would just let the warm water like run through it to rinse it, but I would never.
Yeah.
And when I say wash, I mean like getting with some soap and wash. I would just get in the shower, let it rinse all whatever the sweat off, dry the hair. But I only wash my hair once a month, and my hair grew. It wasn't brittle. After a while, when the locks got heavy, it started getting a little thin around here. That's when I
Mm.
started wearing it on top so it wouldn't pull.
Yeah. Let me
Mhm.
ask you this. So you say you was diagnosed with breast cancer at 50?
No, 54. I believe it's 54, between 50.
Wow. It's crazy. I'll be 50 next year. And
Yeah.
you say you just found. cause I think it was around 2015. I was laying down and I was in a a very emotional relationship, and I remember waking up that morning and I just touched my breast and it was a lump, and I was freaking out. I went, but they just told me that it was just a mass that some women get,
Mhm.
and they did the they did the, like the monogram and all that.
In the
But
body.
I was
Mhm.
when I tell you that right there, Miss TR, that made me. That's when I learned about the raw milk and, like you say, the honey. I always took black seed. It, and then it just dissolved on itself. Like he said, it was just something women get those, especially if you don't. I can't remember what he said it was when they have children and all that, but it
Because
scared
it's
the
hormonal.
mess out of me.
Yes, all of it's hormonal, and there's different types of breast cancer. You get ones that are hormones. Some has to do with with a lot of estrogen in your body. I
Mm-hmm.
I had a hysterectomy at the age, I think, of 50. I think 50 it was. I had a hysterectomy because I was loaded with fibroids. When they showed me the picture of the fibroids I had, they looked like they were like as big as I had like three, and they were like as big as a good size grapefruit,
Mm.
like a thing of fat. You know how you see chicken fat, and it had very.
Yeah.
I went to go. I had the hysterectomy. The doctor told me he had to take out everything because it was like it grew tentacles
Oh wow.
on my
I
uterus.
had I had that surgery too. It's on YouTube. I documented on YouTube, but I would not let the crazy part, I could still have children, and I would not let them do it. All the Asian and the white doctors wanted to me to have a hysterectomy. I was like, no, no. And I got an African doctor, and he was like, no, have a myomectomy. And no one never told me that in the last in the
It's a
years that I was dealing
myelect.
with it.
It's a
Hmm?
myelect. They just so what did you only had a partial hysterectomy where you
I
still
didn't
make.
have anything. I had a myomectomy. That's when they just removed the fibroids.
Oh, okay. I waited so long that they got out of control. And ladies, I used to bleed so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Used to come up from the back, from my backside up to my back. I couldn't go anywhere. It
Oh
was,
yeah.
and I would have contractions like I was having when I would go past the clock. I would have
Mm-hmm.
contractions like I was giving birth, and I used to.
Yeah.
And it's a history in my family between uterine cancer and ovarian cancer, fibroids, and etc. So it's like when you find out certain things, a lot of times it has something to do with the food that we eat. That is hereditary.
Most of the time. But you know what, beloved? The research I did on fibroids, I found a medical book from the 50s. And guess what fibroids was mainly found in? White women. It was mainly found in white women, and lupus was mainly found in Caucasian white men. But the tables have turned. Like my doctor say, they really don't know the cause. But for some reason, from the 50s to now, it's mainly found in black women, and not just black women in America. Like he's from Africa. He said black women in Brazil, black women in Africa, black women all over the world. That's what fibroids are mainly found in. But I
Well,
had a medical book, and it literally said fibroid tumors are mainly found in Caucasian women. So something happened between that until now, and even lupus. Lupus was something that was found in Caucasian men, and we were talking about autism earlier. That too. A lot of this stuff is now found in us more. But me personally, just studying black culture and black history, I truly believe once we start integrating and we start eating more foods, because black people, we ate out for like a celebration. We mainly went in the garden, got the food, and ate at home. And at times we couldn't even go to grocery stores.
yeah, and we owned. See, when I was coming up, we owned our own grocery stores because
Yes.
I grew up in an era where things were still segregated. I'm a
Yes.
50. So what happened was is that either you grew your own food. We had a lot of bodegas, but they were black owned. We had to have our own stores because they really didn't allow us
To
to sit
go.
in our own stores. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
We did amongst ourselves, and a lot of times people who took their stuff and they got it from the backyard, they would go to fruit stand. I remember the donkey with the bug, fish, the watermelon sweet. They will take their post the things that they grew, they put it on the little buggy, and they will go up and down the street hauling fish, watermelon.
Yes,
Make
yes.
this
They
stuff
still have some guys do that round down here in Florida sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. So it was much, it was much different.
Yeah.
So, and
It's
believe me, we do become the food that we eat. And in cancer, they say, oh, you don't have to worry about it until you're certain. No, when I had my radio, because I'm also was a
yes.
radio host, and if you go on my page, you'll see some of the stuff that I did.
I looked at some of your
Mhm.
YouTube a while ago. I was like, look at her.
Yeah, I did radio. Yeah, I was a head radio
You had a group of young women with you and y'all was just talking about different
things and
issues and stuff like that.
yes, I was the host. I had I had them all age different, so we got the perspective of everyone and how they saw it. It wasn't just me,
Yes.
and I had different races on there. She Dominican or Peruvian one. Then I had a comedian. She was gay. I had Aisha. I mean, she was a young girl,
Hmm.
Christian young girl, and
Oh,
it
I
was
love that. So
yeah.
everybody could get a different perspective. Yeah, I love that.
And I held it down until um, the pandemic. The
Yeah.
pandemic changed everything,
Yeah,
changed
for
it.
a lot of us. Yeah.
It stopped my side bag too. Because I
Yeah.
need money, tax-free money.
Yes, yes, yes.
So it put me in a different category. But I'm retired now. And I was on YouTube for a while. And see, the things that you saw on YouTube, that's stuff that I took from the radio, some of the stuff that I had, and I uploaded it.
Oh, okay,
One of the
okay.
few things that I did with YouTube, they were group. But I haven't been on YouTube for like 2 years. For like you'll see me, maybe I want to. Someone gave me something, and want to say thank you, and I'll show everybody. I was there 2 years ago when my great grandbaby was born. She was like 5 days old, and I was babysitting her while they were doing a baby shower.
Mm,
And but I was wounded really bad. I was wounded really bad from people on YouTube. So when I seen that you were going through certain things, I was like,
yes.
oh my God, I was able to identify. It didn't exactly that had happened, but it was, wounds and wounds.
Yeah, it's like you help people and they just turn like what the world?
And I was
It
like,
make you don't wanna it make you don't wanna help nobody, but then when you have a divine calling, you
but I
gotta fight
see
and
it.
keep doing it, but they'll keep coming like weirdos. Like, what is wrong with you? Who
Yeah.
did you get a hug? Did somebody drop you? What the what is wrong?
Yeah, but I was so hurt that I stopped. I didn't want to have nothing to do. I would just come on and watch people. Then they would invite me up on the panel. I'll come up, say a few words, and that's it.
Yeah.
Tell you about you. You have been such an inspiration. When I seen you come on, I did jewelry before. That's when
Oh,
I was looking for when I found you did the bean pie. I was looking for
yeah.
the bean pies,
I,
and
I
I
still
know
get messages from that bean pie. I'm gonna do an update version. I do it a little different now, but
yeah,
it's
you there was a secret that you weren't gonna let nobody know.
yeah.
I,
I'm gonna do an update video because I still every day somebody leaving a comment on that bean pie, asking me 1,000 questions
yeah,
about that bean pie.
it was the basic. And one thing about me, I like to work smarter, not harder. And you showed a way, a technique that you can get it done with everything within like 15 minutes. Everything is
Yeah, that blender. That
that
what I
blender.
say, $20 blender, a
That's the
$5.
cream, you do the evaporated milk, you do the blend, you do this, but that one secret ingredient, you put it in there, but you didn't let us see it. And you said, I got a secret ingredient, but you can't have it. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to figure that out or keep watching others to see what their secret ingredient is and try to figure it out. I think I know what it is, but I'm not going to say it. Maybe your secret. It's another extract, but I think I know what it is. You know. But anyway, I'm not gonna let that secret out. I'm 99.9% think I know what it is, but I ain't gonna let the secret out, baby. I'm not gonna do that.
When I did that bean pie recipe, it was no videos on YouTube. that show people how to make bean pies. Now it's so many.
And you got guys doing it, but they didn't do it like the Nation of Islam. And that's what
Yeah, yeah.
the carrot, the squash, the beans. You can do all.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
you're gonna do stuff like that because that's healthier.
Yes,
You
yes,
don't have to
yes.
use white sugar. You can use other. You can use the brown sugar. You know, the sugar cane. You can use other sugars.
Yeah, I use brown. I use brown sugar when I did mine. Some
Mm-hmm.
people use white. In the nation they was very strict about certain things when we made a bean pie.
Body.
I'm still a member. I'm just inactive because it's like military, and I was raised in it. But with the nation, you don't supposed to use no white sugar. Everything got to be like butter, no margarine. Um, what else? What else? It just got to be even the dough supposed to be made by you. It's real strict, but I
Mhm.
done ordered bean pies, and it's some nasty bean pies out there.
I made mine. I said, "Ooh, this is good. This is good. This is good." But you know what? I I just beseech people who are listening to my voice, instead of buying your bread, make your bread. Don't you know it's only 3 ingredients? You can make bread, and you can make a big old bucket of it and stick it in your refrigerator. Put a cap over it.
What is it? Was it water, flour, and salt?
It's well, we know there's going to be flour, but it's
Okay.
water, salt, and yeast.
Oh yeah, I gotta perfect. My goal is to perfect a buttermilk biscuit like Silly did on Color Purple.
Mhm. Well, that's something that you have to do because you know what? Everybody's taste buds are different. So
Yeah, one of the
you do
old
it according
school
to your taste
biscuit
bud.
with preservatives. Like I grew up eating biscuit with preservatives, and I just haven't tasted the biscuit like that. And the only way I'm gonna get it if I make it myself, like you say.
Well, what about Crisco? Crisco is a vegetable oil. Can you use that?
Yeah, they still sell Crisco. I haven't seen Crisco aborted in years, but that's what my mom say. A lot of our ancestors used the what they did the shorten, but she did the vegetable Crisco.
You
You
get the.
know,
You don't have to do lard. You could do vegetable Crisco. They also have Crisco with the butter in it. Okay.
I
Um,
remember that.
you
I
could do a
remember that as a kid. I remember seeing that in the kitchen.
you could do 2 ingredient biscuit, which is um self rising flour,
Okay.
heavy whipping cream. Just those two, mix it up. And you can roll it out or drop them. I do drop because I ain't fussing. I ain't fussing. I take a big old tablespoon. I go plop, and I make them about this big. No lie, this big. So when you have that and a bit some tea, you're full.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like seeing it and you be like, dang, I reached the bottom and the crust and I didn't get a chance to get the feeling good.
Yeah, I love a old. I remember I went to Atlanta when I was a traveling poet for 13 years, and we was at one of the poets' aunt house. She had a beautiful big house, and we was down like the downstairs was another whole house, to be honest. And all the poets was down there, and we got up that morning, and she made homemade biscuits, and she had preservatives, and she had apple butter. A lot of people don't know what apple butter is.
I
You
could
remember apple butter?
I make it. I make it. It's really easy, guys. All you need is a crock pot, sweetheart.
Oh yeah, you gotta do your YouTube so you can show me how to do that. Cause I
I could
love
we could
apple
do
butter
it.
on my
Yeah,
biscuits.
I'll do YouTube or maybe we could do a collaboration and
Oh
you know,
yeah, that'll be fun. I
let me
love
go
doing
through the
collaborations.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not tainted like that, like that crazy lady I did collaborations and helped her, but I'm not tainted. I'm not gonna let one, as they say, but it's not. I'm not saying it in a way that the
I
white man saying. We're not gonna let one monkey stop the show.
right. But you know what? Each one teach one. And I'm gonna
Yes.
tell everybody who's on that can hear my voice. If you want to be blessed, you have to give. You
Oh
can't
yeah.
have your hand closed because if you have your hand closed all the time, then how are you able to receive? So,
Yes.
you know, that's one thing about my garden. I had so much. Well, this year, the deer tackled my garden and they destroyed it. And I was so heartbroken. I said, Lord, what is it that you had me do? Honey, next year I got something for them deer. My yard's gonna look like voodoo. I'm gonna put
I know that's right.
I'm gonna get some of the water bottles and No, seriously, they have indoor mothballs and they have outdoor mothballs. Outdoor mothballs gets rid of snakes, deers, the other rodents outside. And where I live at, I have possums, raccoon,
Me
deer,
too.
snakes, all that. And I don't live in the country, but it's just where I'm at. That's just how it is where I'm at.
Yeah, it was some deers and I think not deers. It was some raccoons on the back patio the other day. I videotaped. They was babies, and I say the mama somewhere. Then right after I came back downstairs again, and then it was I forgot to get the cat's food off there. Then it was a
Mhm.
possum. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh Lord.
nasty. They're nasty. Just stay away from them. Just close up everything and make sure. If you got dogs, don't let them out because they will eat them out. Especially raccoons, they're dangerous.
Raccoons will attack you.
Yeah, and the skunks, they
I
light up.
haven't seen one of them. I'm curious about seeing one of them in person for some reason.
Yeah, I don't have a basement, but they call it a crawl space. They get
Mhm.
yeah, and you think, oh, they were in my house. I'd be like, man, they'd be waking us up out of sleep. They smell so bad.
Yeah, that you got to be careful because these animals they went through something too. So you're starting to see a lot of like the
Change.
raccoons and stuff
Yeah,
in the daytime more now.
their habitat has been ruined, and because of it, you're gonna see them everywhere. But
Yeah,
even getting back to the subject of breast cancer, we have to be mindful of even with our makeup, our beauty. Try to, if you can, try to, if you like a certain color lipstick and you only wear a certain, try to look it up and see what you can make on your own. Beeswax.
yeah. Make a lot of
You
things you can make on your own.
can make on your own. Um, what else? Hair relaxers. If you can go natural, it's better to use a straightening comb than to put a relaxer
That's
in your
true.
hair. Because
That's
now,
true.
come to find out that chemicals. Sure, and it's so sad because we put it in our children, on our children's heads too. So they have that risk of maybe possibly something happening to their
Yes.
mhm. And that lie is not good. Lie to me is only good for certain things. I'm trying to wean myself away from bleach and cleaning.
Yeah.
Easy. I read about that it's best like to get mold off, especially in your old homes, and I have an old home. You use vinegar and baking soda. That cleans the whole
Everything you could I could think of your teeth. You could wash your hair. You can make a mask. You can.
everything. That's right. Certain types of clay, like bentonite clay, you can use. You can drink it. You can brush your teeth with it. You can use it on your face. You can use your armpits to detox your armpits. You can make deodorant out of coconut oil with bentonite clay mixed together. And one thing also the deodorant. That's another thing I like. If you go on my page and you scroll down, you'll see that I have something regarding deodorant. And I tell you, I talk about the dangers of antiperspirants. You have to look at, you got to try to get not have aluminum in your body, and antiperspirants as was full of aluminum, that metal that seeps into your lymph nodes. And see, whatever goes into your lymph nodes goes through your blood system, and this is how the cancer goes.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to do stuff like that. Try to win. And the difference between deodorant and antiperspirant, one one stops you from sweating. That's the antiperspirant. If you're going to use it, only use it when you're going to go out, out. You're just going to run to the store and do something. Just use regular deodorant or throw some witch hazel or something underneath your arms, some lemongrass oil, something, and which we mix with some and do it that way. Or make your own deodorant and put it in. If you're going to have, you feel that you have to wear, get crystal. That's cancer is approved by the breast cancer foundation.
Okay.
Okay, but it's very important because your lymph nodes. That's why the lymph nodes carry stuff all through your body. Once it enters your lymph nodes, then it becomes like a free radical. It goes all through your body. And my aunt died of breast cancer, and her lifespan, she was about maybe 11 years, and
Mhm.
but it came back as lung cancer.
Mm.
You'll have breast cancer, but it goes in the same area, lung cancer. So, ladies, please stay up on it. And I had interviewed a woman And I was a co-host on this other show called Staff Meeting, a radio show with Gyroscope Media. And she was in her 20s. Her babies were young. She had severe breast cancer. She had to have a double mastectomy. She had a breast redone, built, reconstructed, but she had a double mastectomy. And the breast cancer was so bad that by the time they got all this separated, it changed her DNA. She had brown hair. She came out with orange hair.
Wow.
And those people who after they come through chemo, when it grows back, it's like that baby fine hair. It changes your DNA. I had it like that. And a lot of my pictures, well, I wear wigs now. I wear wigs because I can't raise my hand up all the way like I used to, or it gets tired for me to comb my hair. So
Mm-hmm.
in the summertime, I don't wear wigs. I just cut my hair down very, very short. I mean, extremely short. By the time it grows out, the summer is over. I go back to put my block braids in, and I wear wigs. And I know how to make my own wigs too in it. And the thing is that she's absolutely beautiful, Latino woman, beautiful young, and it changed her hair. Mine, it came back. When it came back jet white. I mean, like all white, like white, white, white. I had all that medicine cut out, and then it grew back brown, and then with age it started turning gray. But it changes your DNA, and the chemo alone is poison. I'm just letting you know.
I was just gonna ask you that because I know like a lot of people say it's the cancer do it, but the chemo really do it.
It breaks your immune system. It took me 2 years of treating that should have been no more than less than a year. But because the chemo was so harsh and he had to treat it because it was stage 3 breast cancer, that what happened is that I kept getting sick. And every month I would end up in the hospital. And it'll attack the weakest point of your body, which is my stomach. So I always ended up with diverticulitis.
Mm.
Bad, 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 bad stomach, intestinal. It affects your colon. Some people have to have their colon removed. They would do that. And I would be so sick. And one time I didn't think I was going to make it. And I was in the hospital for over a month. It got to the point where they were calling me by my first name instead of calling me by my last. Oh, you're back? You're back? Oh, how you doing? Well, if I
Oh
was,
wow.
I wouldn't be here. My daughter would take me to the hospital. And I go, no, no. She goes, well, I said, I'm taking my computer. She goes, why are you doing that? You're just going to go to God. I know they're going to keep me. How do you know? The Lord told me they're going to keep me. So I would go and I would have my little computer with me. I wouldn't take my pajamas or nothing. I just took my slippers because I wore whatever the hospital gave. I wasn't going to sit there and have her coming up and I don't have no clean gowns. No, let me wear what they have there. But one thing about that is so important for you to get sick from keeping you from having anxiety, which I still suffer with, heart attacks, strokes, and you have to keep your mind at peace, whatever it takes to get the peace, because the Bible says that laughter is like medicine.
Yes, I
Uh,
agree.
but if you hold grudges and anger, it breaks down the body.
Mm.
Body's trying to fight. So you have to do the renewing of your mind. So as much peace as you possibly can is easier said than done. I know that for a fact because I got people. I got a granddaughter that thinks she know everything. My daughter, who's an
Oh, the
officer.
young people.
Oh, well, honey, me and my daughter get it out. So I'll be talking about, I ain't one of them inmates you want to talk to me like that. Because that's one thing that they have a challenge with, separating their job. Um, all police officers have
Yeah.
that. And she
But
works in
I went
prison.
out, but I know why I went out. I'm still here, y'all. I know y'all can't see me, and I about finished this cancer design. But I went out because my mom called, and then she called again, and I forgot to put my thing on do not disturb. And usually, sometime when you go out like that, it freezes. But the beautiful part is we still see Miss Queen. Let me
Okay.
ask you this: so, how you feeling now?
How am I feeling now? Like I've been having a little bit of discomfort in my armpits.
Mm-hmm.
I still suffer from anxiety, and I get help for that. I see a therapist for that. And I've been seeing a therapist for years because one thing about me having seeing a therapist, which I do not deny and I'm not ashamed of, is that I get the chance to let whatever that's in bothering me out. And when
Yes.
when you don't have anyone that you feel that you could talk to, and maybe not judge you, because there's sometimes that you just need an ear to hear you. You don't want to hear them telling you, giving you advice or nothing. You're not. You just want to be able to vent. And today, see, I was raised with a village, Khadija, and the village. It's hard to find a village to assist.
Yes.
In my community, they call Miss TR. There's Mr. Hi, Miss TR, and even at work, the young people used to come to me. I told them, honey, I did that. I did that, done that already. I'm going to tell you what God says, but I'm also going to tell you what I know you're going to do.
Yeah.
I would say, look, if you're going to have sex, make sure that you're safe. Be
Oh
self,
yeah.
be selfish enough to take care of you, because He would never ask you if He really cared about you. He wouldn't say, well, don't you trust me? Hell no, I don't trust you. They
Yeah.
got,
You got.
they got boogeymans out here that penicillin can't get rid of. No, I don't trust you. And
It's dangerous. It's
yeah,
dangerous spiritually and physically.
yeah, because see, they don't know between difference between a soulmate and a soul tie. Once you figure out the spiritual point of it, you wouldn't be doing what you're doing.
Oh yeah. It's dangerous.
Yes, it's dangerous. I sleep with one person, but how many did he sleep with? And each time, whatever it is that goes into him goes into me or her.
Exactly. I'm cleansing from a. It'll be a year on the 30th. Will be a year. I've been cleansing from that thing that I was dealing with. Oof.
Yeah,
Make one throw up just thinking about.
yeah. And it's like, and because we're receivers, when he ejaculates, whatever that's in his system
It
or whatever
goes in you.
is in you.
Even what he eat, what all that.
Yes, everything, everything, regardless of what it is. And then if he slept with a woman that someone did that to her, and it becomes us, it just goes on and on and on. And the next thing you know, you're like, what's going on with my body? I only have one partner. What's going on? And then you're gonna find out, oh yeah, you've been slipping. That's one thing about a man. You can always tell if he's sleeping because you could tell by the way your body reacts to him.
Yeah.
It's best not to do it at all. And not only that, married women, I'm telling you, married women, you need to wait a while before you have unprotected sex because you don't know what he had prior to you.
Oh yeah.
So protect your body, protect your mind, and you can end up with cancer. You can end up with cancer of the uterus because of what he gave an STD. STD can kill you.
Oh
You don't have,
yeah.
you don't have to get gonorrhea. You don't have to get syphilis. Just the fact of it weakening the lining of your uterus can kill you. You can end up with ovarian cancer, end up with fibroids,
Mm-hmm.
you can end up with. So protect yourself. And then it goes through your body. And next thing you know, you got brain cancer. You're putting chemicals in your hair to be pretty or to keep up with the trend. Women, we're beautiful. We don't need to have all that. If you want to, like on special occasion, put makeup on your face, that's fine. But don't be, because your skins are breathing organs. What you put underneath your arm can give you cancer in the breast. What you eat can end up messing up your colon. And when you have colon cancer, it don't come and show its face until the last doggone minute, and then they be telling you only got 6 to 8 months to live.
I know that's right.
Ovarian cancer has a lot to do with women putting their children also on birth controls at an early age because they think they're gonna have sex.
I could never take that mess. I could never. It always made
Yeah.
me feel bad. And even when before I had that myomectomy, Dr. O, he put me on birth control. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. But I end up getting that. And he was like, when you gonna get pregnant?
Mhm.
He was, and that's crazy because my grandma had her last child at 51, and I still can literally get pregnant. But I'm glad that I still got my womb, even if I'm probably not going to have no more babies. But I just I'm the
Well,
type of woman, I wanted my womb. And
um,
I don't know if you ever read the hysterectomy hoax. It's so many black women
oh
that
yeah,
got hysterectomies and shouldn't have never got the hysterectomy.
yeah, that's true. That's because they like they do when they experiment on us. But we
Yeah.
also have to use wisdom so those things don't come up, so they don't have the opportunity to spend to
Mm.
do that. Because it's hard to tell if they're, you're taking a chance to saying yes or no either way.
You ever read the book Medical Apartheid?
No, no.
I
And we,
have it. It's scary. I've been wanting that book for years. I finally got it. I can't even open it
that's
because
how it
it's
is.
heavy. Because the experiments is mainly telling them the experiments that they done on black people is beyond Tuskegee. It's beyond Harry. It would a Harry Henny relax. It's beyond all
I
that. Just
know,
talking
I know
about
the
it
book.
right now,
Right.
I'm getting. Literally have that book. I'm gonna show it to y'all on the 30th when I go live. I start on 29th. I just show y'all and y'all could get it because you couldn't get it. They mainly was trying to ban it, but it
You know
is
why? Because
heavy.
it tells that how we endured C-sections with no anesthesia, where they would
Y-
cut it open and
Because I
do
think it was the Sims guy. I don't know if he somebody that wrote the I think it was Marion Sims, one of them.
he had a lot.
Somebody that wrote the Amazing Grace used to
Oh,
used to he was a white man, but he used to I think he was a was it the no, I'm getting it mixed up. I
no, he
think it's
was
the father of
he,
gynecology, but he
what?
used to
He wrote that.
experiment on black women, say that we didn't feel pain at all.
One who did Amazing Grace, he was on the ship. He would capture the slaves and bring them over.
Yeah, but he did something to black women too. You ever heard of Dr. Joy DeGruy?
Uh-uh. I'm gonna have to
She's a
read.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
Dr. Joy DeGruy. I have her book Post Traumatic Slave Syndrome and the workbook. But if you go on YouTube, you can look at her lectures. She's beautiful, but oh my God, just talking about it's heavy. It's heavy. You have to be ready for it because you'll be like, wow. But they literally used to perform um on black women, black babies. They say that we ain't feel pain at all. And even with that thing going inside us.
we were considered one third human.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
We were
Yes,
considered
yeah.
livestock. That's why we didn't have names. We had numbers.
Mm-hmm. It's
That's
it's a heavy, it's heavy. A lot of people don't like to hear it. But if y'all ever go y'all look up Dr. Joy DeGruy and look at her lecture on post traumatic slave syndrome, a lot of these songs we singing and all this stuff was made for a white man, and they was experiment on black women, black babies, and black men. And they still
100
do it. They just do it in a way that
in a
like
different way.
COVID and these viruses and the food and
Yeah, they become Dr. Frankenstein. You're right. They become a Dr.
yes.
Frankenstein.
And see, people be saying Dr. Frankenstein. He people be thinking the monster he created was Frankenstein. No, Dr. Frankenstein was he got all these different body
He
parts and
was
he
the real
created a
monster.
monster. But
Yeah, he was the real monster. But ladies, I know we gotta go, but I'm just saying it's very important because no matter what you put in your body, you can end up with the big C. Because it's breast cancer, ovarian cancer, lung cancer, etc.
yes,
Gotta go
I
down.
wish y'all could see this lady painting. I done painted her before, but she's beautiful. The thing went out. I'll show y'all her.
Well, you know what you could do? Maybe you could take a picture and a picture of the book and just put it as on your Instagram and we could just see it.
Okay, I put it in a community post. I put it in a community post so y'all could see it. But it's called Medical Apartheid, and the other one is called. I used to show my books on YouTube. The other one is called um Post Traumatic Slave Syndrome. But I put the link so y'all can listen to her video. But I was trying to get that book for years, and it was out of stock. Somebody finally printed it, and when I got it, I just couldn't open it. I have to be ready for it.
Another book to get, just to get general idea on how what we went through in the 50s and 60s called the Green Book. The Green Book is a book where they used to have different places for us to go so that we could eat, spend the night and stuff like that.
Mm.
Because everything was segregated in which towns in Florida and it's you need to, and not saying that you don't, but
Mhm.
your state lifted up in prayer because it's trying to go so back into segregation with this guy trying to eliminate education and
Oh, he the demon. I call him the Satan.
yes, saying, and we're dealing with those demons in high places, and the high places is the government.
Oh
And when
yeah.
oh, but honey, when the Lord comes and He swipes us all, only few are going to be going, and
Mhm.
Yeah, when they die and lay their head, they don't wake up. They ain't in the hood no more, and they somewhere else. Believe me, they're not gonna get away. They may get away with whatever they're doing here on earth, but when the Father makes judgment, mm-mm, mm-mm. Nobody gets away. He's all seeing,
I
and
agree.
all the mamas that cry, he hears your tears. He hears your tears. He hears your tears. He's trying not to harden your heart. And when you feel that flood coming in, just lift your hands up to him and just give him praise. Whatever it takes for you to find your peace, but not revenge. Revenge, Lord says that revenge is his. Because, you can't, people can outdub you, but they can't outdub God. So,
I agree. I agree. I agree with that. The thing about it with me, just dealing with different religions and all that, I
hmm
agree with it, and I believe if a person believe it, it will be for them. But me, I feel like I'm the likeness, and I'm made in the likeness and the image of God.
we all
So,
are. In the
and I
word,
feel like if I could say revenge is mine, he could say, or she could say revenge is mine, I could say it. And I just look at things different, but I do respect everybody way, don't knock nobody way. But
mm-hmm.
I think a lot of me personally, I think a lot of things come from the slave master when he was telling us forgive our enemy, forgive. You kind of like even when you look at Color Purple, remember when she walked silly Sophia walked up to Silly and said, "You told Hoppo to beat me," and she mainly said, "Keep getting beat, you're gonna go to heaven soon." So I think a lot of times with me and just being a person that step outside, like don't think like a lot of people, it's like the forgiveness thing in religion, it be want us to forgive, but that's the same thing the slave master told us to do. It's the same
But
thing
that's
he told us to do
the
so
trick
we
of
can go to heaven. Forgive
yeah,
him, you
yeah, yeah.
know?
No, no. Certain things are forgivable and certain things aren't.
Yeah, certain things aren't. And
And
I have this thing with holding grudges with people. I'm the type of person like if you hurt me so bad, I just don't want you in my life no more. And
but
I
that's
thought something was wrong with me.
no, but that's not a grudge. That's protection. That's
Mm,
using wisdom. You're not saying you.
mm.
There's a difference between grudges and wisdom.
But it's
And
a
like,
lot of people say, "Oh, you hold grudges, you hold grudges." And
no,
that
that's
growing up, I literally thought something was wrong with me because if a person do something to me, I don't know how to let it go. I don't know how to forgive them. I just, I'm just telling y'all how I be feeling. Like and then one thing about me, I don't like being angry. I hate that angry feeling. I
no,
feel it in
because
my womb.
you feel it
And I
in your.
know it's necessary at times, but I do not like that angry feeling.
But then there's different types of anger. The Lord speaks about a holy anger. You know,
Okay.
there's different types, and that's how I think the enemy has us duped.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's like just because I forgave you doesn't mean that we're going to be friends. And I'm gonna set you. You're gonna set me up for it to happen again. I forgive you. You stay over there. I gotta forgive you for me, not for you. For me, so that I can have peace and not look at you and be wanting to hurt you.
I'm
But
still trying to look. I'll be 50 next year, beloved. I'm still trying to. I still can't wrap myself with that. I don't knock nobody that do, but I still can't. I just feel like when you hurt me and you do something like the man that killed my sister, that murdered my sister, the serial killer. I'm never gonna forgive him for that. Never. And he didn't just do that to my sister. He did it to many black women, and he was a black man. And I don't sit and think about him like every day, like I want him dead. It just be every now and then, I want him dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really
if,
think about him all the time. I think about her more.
yeah, yeah, and that's what it is. And that anger will make you sick. It'll have you crying and
Oh,
make
it
you
do
sick.
make, I don't like
So,
being, that's why
yeah,
I don't really think, I just think about
the
getting
whole
the justice for her. Cause even though they got him, they still haven't charged him for her murder. And
that's all right.
it
You know
been
what?
10 years now.
Yeah, and guess what? When he takes his last breath, he's going to answer. Nobody gets unpunished. Nobody gets unpunished. Nobody gets away with anything unless they really have a repentant heart. Unless they really have, and then, but we all got to pay for our sins. There's different levels of sins, just like there's different levels of the kingdom. There's different levels in everything. There's different levels of heaven. There's different levels of hell. You just have to understand them all. Hell is the common grave. Yeah, that's one part of heaven. But everything comes in three. The heaven is where you see the sky. Then you have the atmosphere, and then you have the third heaven, which is that it's the spiritual. That's where the Father is.
Yeah, I agree with that to a point. I just look at I just like people that's real spiritual, they say it on different level. They look at different realms and different dimensions. But let me say this before we go. Me and Candace was talking the other day, and we was talking about when people tell a lie. And you know how people say, I don't like a liar. And I told Candace, I say, Candace, I have lied before. And I say I have lied, but it was lying to protect or to help. And
Either
I,
way,
I gave her some examples. I say,
mm-hmm.
so say if think about our ancestors. If they
Mm-hmm.
was in a house and then the guy came, the white man came with the guns, like let's look at Emmett Till. Back then, he the what his name? The uncle, the grandfather of the uncle, he was scared, so he just let them in. But
Right,
if
right.
I would have been in that the thing, I would have said,
He
"He's
ain't
not
here.
here," and
I
that
was
would have been like a protection. I would have
right.
lied. You get what I'm saying? And say he wasn't here. So I think a lot of times when we look at the quote unquote commandments, and they'll say, "Thou should not kill, steal, lie, cheat." All those different things. But I told Candace sometimes we do it, but we do it in a way to help, but not to hurt. I think when people lie to hurt a person, that's a
That's
totally
the
different thing. But
thing.
when you're doing it to protect,
You
I don't
do
see nothing wrong with it.
when you're doing it out of fear. I'm not saying lying is okay, but there's a reason for it. You
Yeah.
do it to help or protect. Help is protecting, whatever it is.
Yes. So I was just thinking about that because a lot of times, with religion and the way we was taught and even traditions, they'll say, "Oh, you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that." So me, I don't steal from nobody. But if it came to the point that we're somewhere and like, how people was going crazy with the pandemic, if that grocery store right there and I got my son in there and my niece or somebody, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna steal.
Look, I stolen. I stolen. I stole to survive. I had to provide for my daughter. I was out on my own. I was struggling. And
Exactly.
I used to steal. I would steal soap and stuff like that. I did. And then when I was able to come up and I got a job, I didn't do that anymore. But I'm not ashamed to say those things.
Yeah, that's why I be saying a lot of times when people say you took us, it's a sin, but I don't look at it like that. I don't look. It's certain things. Sometimes you have to tell that. It's interesting why they say the little white lie. Wonder
White
where
lie,
that come from.
yeah, a white lie is a little white lie, and if there goes that's how they do when they condition us.
Yes,
But then
yes,
again, there's different levels of lies.
yeah. Some people say they don't lie. That's a
A lie,
D
that's
lie.
a typical. You lied everything, even when you were a kid. You lied. You were a baby, 8 months old, lying. Now you lie. You will cry and fall out when you didn't.
They catch you doing something. Who did that? They telling them the baby got the grease everywhere, and he shaking his head no, and you seeing the evidence.
Yeah, yeah, you lie, you lie, you lie. I try not to lie. I make a habit. I have a way of rewording it to answer.
Yes.
Like that. I try not to lie. But anybody who feels that they reach that level of perfection, then they need to go on to glory. They
What
need
you
to go
think
on to
so?
glory. Because that
They
means
do.
there's nothing for you to be here. Because everybody here is imperfect. So you need to go on to glory if you feel that you that you're like that.
That's another thing. See, I'm one of them thinkers. Um, what is perfect? We measuring perfect against who? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I always say I'm perfectly me. I'm imperfectly me. It's interesting. Like, what is perfection?
Well, the perfection that I believe in
Mm-hmm.
will be able to be there. None of us, nobody on this earth, other than according to my faith, was Jesus that was perfect. Other than that, there is no man, and he came in like that. He came in like that, and he left like that, and that's according to my faith.
Yes.
and say no, there's no man. Because if it was, then you should have been up on the cross taking care, using as a sacrifice. Should have been you. But no, no one's perfect. No one is perfect. And the Bible speaks of it. No one is perfect. That's why Jesus said, what? He who has not sinned, do what? Throw the first stone. They all dropped that stone, honey. They all dropped
Yeah.
that. If they whoever threw that stone, the Lord says that, like they say, you point at one and three are looking right back at you. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. I don't judge. I don't judge because I got so much stuff in my closet. If I open it up, I be peeking, making sure no legs and stuff are in. And I don't need the Lord exposing my mess because I didn't have mercy or kept my mouth shut because I want to shame someone. Ain't come for me. And somebody say, I be like, And they say, why, Miss Tia? I said, honey, I got so much stuff that only God even knows. So who am I to judge? You ain't get me on that. Mm-mm.
Do you think we do you think it's right to judge, or you think it's wrong to judge? A lot of people say no judging,
Certain
but I
things.
think people do judge.
Yes, but there's a certain type. See, people got to be able to have to bring the balance. There's a holy judge, and then there's a ego judge. I call a
Mm.
judging is knowing right from wrong. No, 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 no. I know you're sleeping with that man's husband. That's wrong. That's judging.
But let me just say this. When you say right from wrong, in this society it might be wrong, but I'll be studying a lot of indigenous and other societies, it might be right. So
Give me
I
an
don't know.
example. Give me an example.
Okay.
See me looking down. That's because I'm looking at to see what the chat is saying.
Oh, they done said a lot of stuff, but they can't see me, and I done finished painting this pretty lady. Yeah, my mom. I'm like, if you call somebody and then you call right back and they hang up, but
She
it's my
probably remembered. Yeah. Um. Give me an example, Khadijah.
what I just said, beloved.
About an example of what's right and what's wrong.
Yeah,
As far
so
as
what I'm
judging,
saying is, like, with just life in general, how in this society they, like, okay, just say this. Okay, I was raised Muslim, we don't supposed to eat pork, right? But then you see the next person eat pork and they be fine, they don't have high blood pressure. They you get what I'm saying? So it's wrong for me because of my religion, which I don't have no, I don't even want no, I don't want to eat little piggy wiggy. So, but for them, they survive it. And then when you go to other cultures, especially African cultures, pig all in it, or some crossbreed. So my thing is, what's right for, and I think a lot of times everybody want to put their
beliefs
belief on the
on it.
whole world. But then when you go see the whole world, like if you travel and see many other things, like I study a lot, it's a it open your minds to that non-judging thing that we
Mhm,
was talking about. You
mhm.
understand what I'm saying?
Now, the
So,
pork, I say that they're right because, in fact, for one, during Jesus' time or before Jesus, they didn't have refrigeration. And because they lacked refrigeration, there's certain things they didn't eat. They ate a lot of grains, water. Um, their wine was juice, until the men drank fermented wine. The women and children drank juice. See, it didn't only turn to wine when it was fermented. And there was only two things that they drank was the grapes, which will later be turned into wine because it's fermented wine and water. That's the only thing that they would drink.
mhm,
Um, Meat wasn't that big, they had basically it was for cattle, only the rich kings and stuff like that. They were gluttony like that. But they didn't eat pork because of refrigeration. Today we know a lot of us don't eat pork. It's not good for us because of the way the pig is taken care of. The pig is fed.
oh, I agree, I agree.
That's the reason why it's not wise to eat. That's why it's not wise to eat white sugar.
But
Sugar
what I'm
will
but what I'm saying, beloved, is some people can eat that stuff and they could be the most healthiest. And I done seen people that's meat eaters that could be more healthy than a vegetarian or a pescatarian. It's so weird to me. Like I'll be 50 next year. I don't have no high blood pressure. I don't have nothing wrong with me as far as like my health. A little crazy sometimes, but I don't
But
have
we
nothing wrong with me as far as my health.
Mhm.
Um, and I don't know if I think high blood pressure might be in um I
family.
think what my family, like my siblings and all that, the way we was raised, no alcohol, no this, no that. Not saying my siblings don't do it and I didn't do it, because when you deprived of it, you can't do it, you run to it to see what it's about. I ran to it, I ran back the other way because my body can't take a lot of stuff. But I'm just saying, what I'm learning, like in life, like my mind is universal, so I think universal. I don't think tunnel vision. And a lot of times we it's like the way we was taught, especially in America, about if we don't forgive and if we do this, but when you go to another part of the world, it's a totally different environment. You know
I
what
think
I'm saying?
perfect the thing of forgive. I think it's wise to forgive because it releases you.
Yeah,
Because
I've
if
been
you
hearing
don't
that all my
find
life. I still
if
can't understand the concept, especially if somebody did something to you, like the way the American government has done my ancestors. I can't never forgive them because it's still going on. I'm on Instagram today, and some little beautiful young black boy had some locks in his head, and it's crazy. So it's like it's
yeah,
still going on. It's continue to stop. It's like if our ancestors forgive and they moved on to the next stage of life, and then we have to deal with it from the Sandra Bland to the Corian Gaines to the Elijah and the George Floyd, and we still it's continuous, like, and we'll forgive, and the next generation forgive, and we still going through all this hell mentally, spiritually, and physically, living in this illusion of world that we build, that our ancestors built, that we created. But
and they won't let us have not even a portion of it, right?
yeah, and it's crazy
I
because I did study. I was telling Candace about, I don't know if y'all ever heard of the Devil's Peach Bowl. The Devil's Peach Bowl was a place, I don't know if Candace remember, but it was a place somewhere in the South. I can't remember exactly what it was.
the bodies and because
Peaches grow.
beautifully over there.
Yeah,
Yes.
the peaches
That's
grow that,
Mississippi. That's
and and,
Mississippi.
and every now and then, because they they
And they're
had them in a
presenting it.
concentration camp. They had black people in a concentration camp, and they wouldn't let them get out, and they all died literally where they fell at. And it was over, what, 20,000 bodies there. To this day, beautiful peaches trees grow.
Yeah, because ashes to ashes.
The
That's
body, yeah, the bodies, the fertile
cultivated
is the
down there. That's why a lot of places that when there's bodies, stuff like that is considered sacred, and you're not supposed to build or do anything on it.
yeah, but they won't eat those peaches, and they say every now and then a body will just wash up. I think it's Mississippi. I think it's
Yeah,
Mississippi, Candace. You remember when I was telling you about? I was reading it to her, but it's
no,
called the Devil Peach Bowl.
it's Mississippi.
It's
Mm-hmm.
Mississippi. So
Mississippi.
it's like, they say forgive, and I go back to, and I'm looking at the mindset of our ancestors after, let's just say, after 100 years of slavery. I can't remember what year that Alice Walker wrote The Color Purple, but when she went to her and told her, just keep getting beat, you're gonna go to heaven soon. So
That's the condition of slave mentality. That's why.
yeah, that's a slave mentality. So in my mind, keep forgive the white man, forgive him for all the things he done, and then eventually it's gonna get better, and eventually it's gonna get better. I'm ready to see this
I,
heaven on earth that
I,
the
I,
Bible and the different religious books talks about. So what I do, beloved, I create a heaven within.
okay.
I
I don't.
create a
I
heaven
don't
within.
see the oppressors dumbing down. I really don't. I don't. However, I strongly believe that if we forgive them, not forgive them does not mean that it's okay. To forgive it so you can get the bitterness out of your heart because it'll eat you inside out and it'll kill you and they could care less.
I don't think it. See, the thing with me, it's like I don't know. I'm just built a little different. I could be angry with a person, but I don't really think about them unless they come up. You get what I'm saying? Like I live my life. I have a sister. I was telling my best friend this today. I have a sister that I haven't talked to in 10 years due to the trauma and the things that she done to me growing up. I don't think about her. I don't want to know what's going on in her life.
Mhm.
None of that. I just live my life. I don't be sitting and thinking like I hate her. I'm angry. None of that. I just live my life. I just released that energy. 10 years ago, my other sister passed away. And that's it. I don't want her in my life. I don't think about it. I'm never going to forgive her, even though she done sent messages said, tell Khadijah that I'm sorry for all the things I have done. And I just look at my other little sister and just keep moving. Like, and one day I seen her with my best friend. The universe allowed me not to see her. It was like, remember back in the days when the TV went to sleep and you seen
Yeah,
that shh.
yeah,
I
yeah,
could, my best friend said she right there. I could not see it. It was like shh. It was like the God shielded my eyes with that shh. She
yeah,
said, she
yeah,
right there.
yeah.
You don't see. I said, I don't see nobody.
Yeah, yeah,
So
God will do that. Because he knows that how it'll affect you, and he loves you, and he's like he'll protect you so you don't see that person
oh
because
yeah, I already knew ever since I was a child I was a different breed and I'm divinely protected. And I have a job to do. That's why I share what I share. And like I told somebody, I told Candace, I say no matter what, when you are a divine one, as they say in the Bible or the Quran, or one of the
Mhm.
144, I truly believe I am. I could go into spiritual things and tell y'all, even the earrings came in a vision. Everything came in a vision.
Yes, I
Um,
heard your testimony about that. Yes, yes, yes.
yeah, so with me, um, I know that I'm divinely protected. I know I'm divinely guided, and I know that I don't fear death. I don't really fear nothing. I don't fear death. I don't fear, but I know that I'm put on this earth to do what I need to do. And I don't have no problem with being that old lady laying in my bed and going on to the next world. But I know
Mm.
I have a job to do here. But it's interesting with minds. It's interesting how everybody think. And one thing I can't say, if I see an older Christian lady or older Muslim or older Jewish person, whatever,
Mhm.
and they accept that and they're a good person, they make their life better and they good, I let I embrace that, you know?
And that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah,
And
but a lot of people don't. They like that little demon that was stalking me online and I helped. It's interesting how she didn't want me to do unks and didn't want me to draw Christ. And the crazy 2 years later, she doing the same thing.
you
Because
know,
some people that get religion and like you say, that ego and all that come in here, it's like, if you don't believe what I believe, you're going to hell. And that's crazy because if yeah, it's interesting. Like in all most religions say that. If it's Jehovah Witness, if you don't believe the same exact thing I don't believe,
oh yeah,
everybody
my
else
mother,
is
my
going to
mother,
going to hell.
I was raised a Jehovah Witness, and I chose not to go. Once I got out on my own, I didn't do that. I would never join the faith, and because they judge, they talking about we don't judge, we don't go to war, but you are judging because if people don't believe what you believe, you don't have nothing to do with them, and you kick them out of the church. You know, out of, well, ain't no church. I said church is just assembly of people that come together to pray to worship God, regardless of
Mm,
a masjid, your living room, your bathroom, your bedroom, wherever you are, is where your church is where you are. You could be
yes.
within yourself, you know.
Yeah,
I
so that's why I had made peace because, when I was 12 years old, I had a lot of questions and religion, don't question, no question, no question. So
right.
as I done got like when I got like in my 30s, I started doing a lot of research, and just having a lot of spiritual downloads. And I learned like if a person is a Christian, no matter what they are, if it make them a better, because you done seen people like Malcolm be this type of person, and then he turned into this beautiful being. You get what I'm saying? That was very disciplined and this and that. No matter what religion that or spirituality that somebody get, if it can make them a beautiful person, let them be. You know,
But
Let them
Khadijah,
be. If they not hurting nobody or none of that, just let them be.
religion. There's good and bad. That's just like taking the Muslim and they're saying those are the ones that everybody, all the Muslims blow up the planes
and,
and do
and killed Malcolm, and you
and
hear all kind of stuff.
so it's like you have good and bad in everything. If we keep focused and try to do what we need to do to be
Yes.
pleasing to God, that's all that matters. Because you know what? When I die and I go before the Father, I'm gonna say, "Well, Khadijah, you know, she got me to do this." Uh-uh. I put you inside. I put me inside you. You know the difference between right and wrong.
Yeah, but that's another
And what
thing
you
I was
don't
saying.
know,
What's the
yeah,
difference
what you don't
between right and wrong?
but that's the Holy Spirit within you. You have if you have him inside you, which makes you part God, you know what's right and wrong, Khadijah. You
Oh
know.
yeah, I know what's right and wrong for me, but I can't now the things that I say that's wrong, like if somebody molesting a child, somebody doing certain things, because even like the thou should not kill. But if somebody come up in this house, I'm gonna blow their behind away. I
Well,
still
God,
killed
you know
them.
what? God killed, David killed all of them. Just they say there's no war, but you know what? They had to fight for what they were yours. Was there?
Exactly. So it's kind of like sometimes you be thinking like it could make you so confused with things because they'll say, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. But then you see it in the righteous people, they do the same thing.
But
So
you
like
know
I
what?
say,
If
I
you
know I'm a
know
righteous woman, but I say if somebody come in and try to hurt me and my son, I'm gonna blow their behind away. Then I'm
and
gonna
they
kick them in their behind and blow
that's
their
right.
behind away again.
That's right. That's right. I told him, yeah, I'll be kicking and doing everything, calling on the name of the Lord every time I do it, and have the power of the Holy Ghost in that hand. And you're gonna think a brick hit you because I know he got me. So when you feel that brick, it ain't my hand, it's his.
I
You
know
know,
that's right. I know that's
so
right,
it's like,
Queen.
you know, that's why it's good to when you study the word of God also says study to show yourself approved. Find out their culture. The culture lets them know certain things. You know where they say Joshua fought the battle of Jericho and the walls came tumbling down. You think the walls came down, that was it? No, they had to go in there and fight for that territory, but they had God behind them.
It
So
was war all in the Bible. It's like people don't realize, even though I'm Muslim, I got more
yeah,
Bibles in this house than anything because I'm one of those people. I mean, I look through it, I say this, they got a lot going on in here. They had like it was like some love and hip hop stuff. The man having the baby with the older sister and the other sister ugly and the,
nothing.
and Hagar getting sent in the wilderness because Sarah could have baby. It was a lot going on. I be reading.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know
And
what?
my mind, y'all know I'm crazy. My mind be like, what the world I'm
But if you understood the culture and what was going on, Sarah went behind God and didn't believe. She told her to wait. She didn't wait, so she did it in her own way. So she had her handmaiden have
reading?
sex with her
Hagar.
husband, Hagar, have sex with her husband,
Mm,
and that became Ishmael.
yes. And
And
then
then
she
she
went,
and then
she
she and God and she Sarah got jealous because Hagar was like, "Yeah, I got his baby," and walking around like, "Yeah, I'm pregnant, and you can't." She was showing off, and then Sarah got pissed off and said, "You know what? She got to go." So now Abraham is caught between because people got to remember that Isaac and Abraham are brothers. They are brothers. So you got the Jewish and the nation of Islam behind that. They have the same beliefs. They just call it different. They had the
oh
same
yeah,
beliefs.
because in Islam they'll say it was in well in I think it was Islam they were saying that Abraham was gonna sacrifice Ishmael, and then in
No,
Christianity they'll say Abraham was gonna sacrifice
right, right,
Isaac.
right.
But
So they
it's different.
your brother's fighting for territory. That's what it is. Ain't no difference in you having a child. You have a child right now. He or she's not gonna have. They're gonna be half brothers and sisters. Can you imagine your son going against that child because he felt he was first and he should have everything? That's the way it is. Hagar was a surrogate. She was a surrogate.
Yeah, I got a connection with Hagar. I did a lot of research on her. I had a connection with her. But even her story, it's so many different interpretations of it. I'm like, just studying it. It's one people say, the baby kicked the dirt, and then the the water came up, and then it's so many. If you go on YouTube and put in the story of Hagar, you're gonna see about so many different interpretations because it's just like it's so many different Muslims, it's so many different Christians.
Right,
I
right.
mean, so
Yeah.
but
So we
we'll talk all all night. It's still people in the chat.
can
I know y'all can't see me, but I'm gonna show y'all this tomorrow. If you got anything to say, we gonna do this again. Because I enjoy all y'all ladies. We got one more queen, which is Miss Candace on the 29th, and then I'll come on the 30th and show y'all a DIY. But I
well, we
think
need
I
to
want to continue this. I gotta figure out how I want to do it.
do
Um,
something before the holiday gets easier so that people can, look to buy. And those I'm going to be creating soon. Right now, I'm slowly getting back into into the things of things.
okay.
What I'm doing is reviews. I'm getting product right now, doing reviews. Remember I told you about that?
Yeah, you son it. I haven't had time because I
Yeah,
got so many
I was
products right in
trying to,
front of me.
yeah,
I got
I
to
was
do a review on. I got
thinking
this.
that
They sent me. Look, I don't smoke, but they sent me some hemp, um,
is
face
it
cleansing stuff, huh?
not all hemp has THC in it.
Yeah, but so yeah, this one vegan, and my face like it, so I'm gonna show y'all that. They sent me the whole kit,
Ooh.
everything, the
And I
mask.
went on to Thompson, and guess what they had?
Mm.
They had the chakra oils. They were offering $500 to $1,000 to anyone that would display it and try it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna fill that information you sent me, but I got so many things I gotta catch up with. And them getting the emails. Have you done that review for your YouTube yet? I'm like, no. I say
Take
I'm doing it. I'm just, well, I mean, it wasn't no little white lie, but I did want it to make sure that because one thing about me, if I get a product, I want to make sure it's gonna work. I'm not gonna just go out there and promote it on my channel and it's not working for me. I'm gonna be
right,
real.
right,
And
right,
a
right.
lot of them be want to just pay you so you can lie. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not
No,
gonna do
but
that to my people. My people been lied to
they
too
ask
much.
you to review it, not to display it, to review it.
Yeah.
So, but I get you. But I just want to tell you, ending that you're a blessing. You encouraged me to go back. The only thing I haven't done was the painting, and this will be great therapy for me because I don't have full use of my motor skills in my right arm from the breast surgery. I'm numb from my armpit all the way to my elbows. I don't have feeling
Mm.
to be able to do things. I struggle even writing my name, and I have beautiful handwriting. Um, but I did beading, and I learned when I was at the cancer center. They taught us this. I
Yeah,
learned to
you told me that. I told Candace I gotta start back doing my beading earrings. I used to always do them, but I always did them one of a
and I
kind. They
did,
went so fast, and I'm gonna start back making the beading and the fabric. I'm an
yeah,
earring goddess, so I gotta make all different types of earrings.
yeah, and I'm telling you, you can use fabric. Don't throw away those old clothes. Take the buttons, take the zippers out. The zipper you could use it for a choker. It's things that you could do with. Don't throw laundry stuff out. Anything.
Yeah.
Use everything. Everything in art is a canvas. I didn't do paintings, but what I would do is get the wooden planks that you paint on, and I would
Mm-hmm.
use on them and design it that way. If fall's getting ready is almost here. But those
Mm-hmm.
leaves start changing. Go out there and get those leaves while they're still fresh. Take them, oil them down, and put them on and make earrings and jewelry.
Yeah, I picked up some yesterday because we gotta with plaid. We gotta do a challenge for autumn. So I grabbed some up and I set them on my hot water here so they could dry it a little bit more.
And you
And-
put some resin on that and
Yep.
turn it into something really beautiful, a nice, beautiful pendant. You can make little chains. The little circles, the little tiny circles with the wood in with the hole. You can put a leaf on each one, put resin over it, and then chain them together, and you got a bracelet. There's so many things that you could do. It's just that I
Yes.
did those things. I just didn't paint because it was easy for me to take up a tweezer, take some glue, and put it on and design that way. Paint, I had, there's a lot into painting.
Oh yeah.
Paint,
It's
uh,
a sense of peace and healing for me. I'm gonna read some of these comments before we go. I'm gonna
okay.
go up a little bit. So okay, Crystal White. She said, "You are a Jill of all trades, Queen." When you say that you do, and then Miss Judy B say, "Oh my God, I can knit crochet as well. I can also sew. My mother taught me how to knit and sew. I learned to crochet in the sixth grade by one of my classmates' mothers. I love that. I love this story, showing us. on Fridays afternoon. Yes, I love that.
You could take
Uh,
some wire crochet and put slide beads in there and it'd be a bracelet. Girl, there's so much, make chokers, all that. You take the blessings that you have. When you're laying up in the bed doing nothing, go on YouTube and start just research.
yeah, YouTube is it's like, oh my God. I wish I had this when I was a teenager. And Sylvia is that's right. If I'm saying her name, Sylvia, she says, you know what you said was a mouthful that you're not considered a woman until you can master all of those things. This is so true, dear. She said, I'll be quiet and listen. And then she said, so glad that you are healed.
Thank
And
you.
Candace said, you are so right. I don't know what she's talking about. Um, my sister lost her battle to breast cancer 20 years ago. Sorry to hear that, Crystal. I believe that she's always with you.
She will always be with you.
Always. Y'all got the same DNA, so you live, she live.
Battle. She just
Um,
didn't win, sweetheart. She just lose her. She didn't lose her battle. She's just in a different realm right now. That's all.
yes, I
You
agree.
you have to
She,
look at it that way. And no, it's easier said than done. I know that. But
yeah, because you know the way a lot of people was raised, they think a certain way.
mm-hmm.
Um, Miss Judy B say this happened to my Unity. She say I had a myectomy at 80 in the 89 and had my only one child at 39. Oh, okay.
Okay. Okay.
And then they also think fibroids and female cancer may have been caused by baby powder or chemo. Yeah, I did hear that. That
Yeah.
Deborah
But you
Neal said
have
that.
to get them taken care of right away because they can turn into cancer. Okay. Don't let it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting because my mom, when she had some fibroids back in the day, she said hers had teeth and hair cells. Very
Yeah.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I asked Dr.
Mm-hmm.
O, I said, what y'all gonna do with the fibroids? I wanted my fibroids. I wanted to get them, you know how you get the placenta and bury it yourself? I wanted mines and take mine because I ain't want them taking nothing and finna do it. I feel like if it's come out your body, why you wanna? He said, we just gonna test it and all this stuff. But I just feel like if it's mine, let me figure out what I want to do with it. It was growing
I'm
inside me.
asking some of it because I know that my issue can help someone else. Now that's just the way I think.
Yeah, but I in my mind, because a lot of times I'm trying to figure out what they doing with it. He ain't even tell me,
Mm.
but he did get pictures of mine, and I do have the video on YouTube showing y'all my whole process when I was
You
in the
don't want to be
hospital and
another
all that.
Henrietta Lacks, right? You don't want to be another Henrietta Lacks. You ever hear
Mm-mm. I wanted to know what they was finna do with it, but anytime we go to the hospital and we get blood taken, we don't know what they do with that. So,
He took hers and they got cure for AIDS, polio, and all that other stuff, and it was from her cells.
and they never knew. None of her family never
Yeah.
knew.
No, and the family just got restitution for it just now. Hmm.
Wow.
It's all
So, I think we almost said that there are saying cancer is related. Okay, she said that you also have to be careful about all the hair removal agents because they have the same ingredients that chemical relaxer. Okay, because sometimes that I remember that Nair back in the days, it used to be so strong.
yeah. My skin couldn't handle it. And
Yeah.
if you don't go unless you like with me, I stopped shaving underneath my arm. You can't see any my arms are so where I'm not skinny. So if I lift up my arm, you can't really see my armpit anyway. And the chemotherapy took a lot, not yeah, the chemotherapy and the radiation took care where the hair is not even growing underneath my right arm.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that's good. The other arm, honey, please. If I don't wear nothing, you know it. So I gotta do something. I have to detox a lot.
Yeah, activated charcoal under your arms and in your private spot is real good, and at the bottom of your feet. Hell, everywhere.
Hmm.
Um, I didn't know Miss Judy B was a licensed cosmetologist. She been doing natural hair for over 20 years and locks for 12 years. Okay. I knew Sharita is. So Deborah O'Neill say I've been natural for 10 years
Good.
and then menopause hit. Now I have TWA. I know that's right.
That's all right.
Um
That's all right. But that's why they got wigs out here. You can be any woman that you want, sweetheart.
any woman.
Any woman.
You could be Sharita, you could wear a hijab, you could be from the
Yeah.
70s, any woman you want.
And I love
Um
that. I'm stuck in the 70s, so when you see my art, it's gonna be in within that era.
Oh yeah, that was my era. I was born
Oh
in
my
that. Born
God.
that.
I love that.
Um.
Yeah.
Okay, so Miss A's creation say I love near Philly. I used to go to West Philly to get bean pies. They were so good. Nowadays the pies are not sweet. Yeah, they not the same. Philly. I had a Philly bean pie in Chicago. These brothers was standing on the corner for Savers Day when I went to Chicago. That pie was so good. I ate that whole bean pie. That pie was so good. Them brothers in Philly could make some good bean pies.
You know what? We're gonna have to do a collaboration,
Yes, ma'am. I agree. We can.
and we could do that. I have, I know you said I'm big on StreamYard. Yes, I am, and I can have 10 people up on my panel.
Yeah,
So,
the thing is I want to do StreamYard, but like when I go on the computer, they have changed. It's so much things that we could do on YouTube from the computer now.
hmm
And I didn't know that. Because
oh,
to be honest, they changed it within since COVID. Because I literally go live and it was so easy and quick and they changed it. But before then we used to do Google Hangout. They took that away. So it's like you
and
get used to
Paul,
one and then you gotta learn the next one. So when I
some
came on
people,
StreamYard, I used to be one of the ones that went into a lot of the conscious panels and stuff like that. So that's why I already have a StreamYard account. But I'm pretty sure that done changed since I had my account. So I gotta learn that too. You know?
and you could do so much with it, with the backgrounds and stuff like that. Like my background right here, I don't have to have a green screen. I could just hit it and they have it within there, a picture, and it'll put me in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they got a lot of stuff. But
But
oh,
anyway,
Deborah O'Neill say she got to check her soap. Um, and Judy B say yes, deodorant has aluminum. I've been stopped using deodorant with aluminum for years.
Khadija,
I never heard of Crystal
yeah, it's called
using.
people. It's a
Yeah, I
hard.
remember Crystal back in the days. I remember that
It
because
looks
I
like
used to sell it. I used to sell it. It used to be like a little, look like a
rock.
rock.
It's a rock crystal, and you wet it and you rub it underneath your arms,
Yeah,
and
I
it
used to sell that when I was at the market, but that was
Mhm.
like before people really start
No,
getting into the net. That was one of the first ones, natural deodorants that I got. It
yes,
worked for me. A lot of people say it
yeah,
didn't
it's
work
a
for them, but
crystal.
it worked for me.
So, what do you use now? Nothing.
I use be honest, I put deodorant on one time and I take a shower and then I don't have to put it on. I don't even really get musky like that because I think over the years of me doing well, I could get musky, but I think over the years of me doing the activated charcoal under my arms, and then I do the bentonite clay sometimes up under there. I do those detoxes and stuff like that. But when I had that scare with the breast cancer, I went full mode. I'm reading Dr. Layla. I'm reading Queen of Four, Back to Eden, everything you could think of.
Not the
With
CB, all that stuff, right?
yeah,
You know what?
remember Back to
Oh,
Eden back in the
yeah,
days,
yeah.
How to Eat to
Mhm.
Live. I got like all these books and I just research and it's like a lot of them say similar things but a lot of them say Dr. Sabi his diet was crazy. So I was the most I was a vegetarian and pescatarian, but now I do eat a little meat because my body needed a little meat.
Mhm.
um but I think let me see. Oh, Judy B says she heard of Dr. Joy DeGruy, and I haven't read the group books, but I have heard about it. Oh yeah, I love her.
But you
I
can have a few names that maybe we could, even if it's going to Instagram, you hit it up with the books and we could do our research. So when we come on, we'll know, what's going on, or we sit up there and you teach us.
we
Because
can do a I used to do a book club
Mhm.
local, but I think if we do it online and we could tell everybody to get that book and y'all can read it, and then we can go to StreamYard and do that panel, and we can all sit and talk about what we learned. I think that'll be beautiful. Or you could give me some insight of what you want us to do.
Mhm, mhm, yeah, we can start doing that the first of the year, not right now because we're getting things together. The holidays are coming up.
Yes, the holidays gonna get busy, but I
That
think I think the women are like that. Over the years, I did a couple of videos and I showed because I'm obsessed with books. I'm obsessed with art. I'm obsessed with collecting black dolls. Like I have my little things, nature.
Wait a minute. Do you know how to sew?
I know how to sew. I know how to sew, but I'm not like a seamstress like my mom. Like I sit
Mhm.
and watch her. She could sew something with her hand. I done
Oh,
seen her use a
you
just a
can
needle and thread and sew stuff. Like,
get a basic machine from Walmart for under $70. Fit it into your budget. And I know that you like wearing stuff that's off your shoulders or just like a tube around you.
oh yeah, I don't like clothes. Be honest with you.
Right. You can wear something like that. Have it, and that's only two streams with a elastic at the waist. I mean, at the top, and then
Yeah.
the fabric to wrap your hair, and then you can turn around and use the scraps for your jewelry.
Oh yeah, I have a my mom. She always give her daughters that, but I have a old school, and I'm never getting rid of it. You might remember Kenwood from Sears. Um,
Kim Wood or Kim
Kim
Moore?
Moore, Kim Moore.
Oh, yeah, Kim Moore.
I'm gonna take a picture and show you. I've been having that for years, and my
Oh my
mom says sewing
God.
machines never break.
They don't. Singers either. Kim Moore. My mother had a Kim
Mine's is
Moore.
old school, but I am
Yes,
gonna
they
buy a new
did.
one because I want to get a
Yes, they
serger, and I'm gonna buy a
yes,
new
they
one because they got
did.
all the little new gadgets and stuff. But my mom say never get rid of that, and I still got it to this day. I got a Kim.
Yeah, Kim Moore. That's the Sears. That's Sears and
That's
Robot.
old school. And I had this white lady. I was taking some sewing class with her, but that's another story. I gotta tell y'all about that. I wasn't finna be no slave for nobody.
She
But
tried your
she was a
soul.
seamstress. She made beautiful curtains. I found her at the local co-op here, and she was giving sewing classes a couple of years ago. And she made beautiful. She was in magazines like Cosmo, but she was an old white lady. But I have to tell y'all about that story. But she was going to give me some classes, and when I tell you this lady made beautiful stuff, I say somebody named Miss Sarah had to teach her when she was a kid. Miss
Mhm.
Sarah, Miss Pearl, or somebody. But what I
But
was
I
gonna
learned the
say,
basics because, like I said, when I was coming up, they teach you homemaking. We had homemake class at
we
in
I did
school.
too.
Fifth
I just
grade.
recently
I
found out
learned
that
how
they
to
don't even
cook. I
have that
learned
no
how to
more.
sew. No, home economics is so important. Those are survival skills.
We had business class too. They taught us about, back then how to do the
How to do
cash
your
register, how to
checkbook,
calculate
and how to do
checkbooks,
your
all
checkbook.
that.
They took all that
I
out.
just found out recently that they don't have. I was asking, they was like, I don't know what that is. I said, y'all don't got home economics? They was like,
Mhm.
no. I'm like, wow.
They took out
I learned
cases
how to make a
writing too.
homemade apple pie in home economics, a homemade lasagna.
Mhm.
We had the groups. I missed that.
But you know what else they took out of? The kids don't know how to write. They're only trained to write their name.
They don't even know how to write cursive.
No,
It's not mandatory no more.
no. You
Yeah,
got
it's a,
they
those
can
things
type.
really.
They can type. They can type. They know how to do all that other stuff. But as far as cursive writing, they can barely write their own name, and that's what it is. They can read it. They just can't write it.
Yeah, it's a totally different breed. I'm glad, to be honest, my spirit is so old school. I be feeling like that's why I never had that grandma that I could sit and learn something from both sides. That's another whole story. I
Hmm.
never had really that auntie. I had like my mom and daddy got divorced. I had some Muslim sisters, like I know a Muslim sister. She taught me how to clean chicken when I was 12. Just a little thing. So I'm the type of person I love to learn. So
The
I'm gonna be
chicken.
that grandma and that auntie for my nieces. Like when my nieces come over, I show them how to do little things. So because I'm the type of person I love history and I love stories. That's why I'm an avid reader. I love stories and I love people's stories you know. So and just those little histories about learning how to sew with your grandma and your auntie. I wish that I could have had that type of
Yeah,
stuff.
you see, that's when we had a village. I come from
Mm.
a village. I had a neighbor that taught me how to knit. My grandmother taught me how to crochet. My mother taught me, plus with school, how to sew. I made all my clothes when I was in high school. I never dressed like anyone else.
Yes.
And then I'm so stuck in the 70s, and I like it from the late, say, mid 60s, 70s. That's why, although they're plastered together, I love my cat glasses
I
with the
know. I
roses
was just
in
looking
it.
at some the other
I
day
love it.
online because I need to get some new glasses, and then the first one came up, the cat glass.
Yes, I've been wearing them for years. Even the little small one with the heavy wings. Oh yes, and I need glasses to see now. But I love that look, and I'm just stuck there. And it
Oh,
is
I
what
love
it
that.
is.
That was
I mean,
my
they call it the bohemian look now, but back then we call it, back there in the 70s, love, the peace. I love
yeah.
that it was real Black Power back then, and there was unity with that. That's one thing I can say.
Oh
George
yeah. From the
had
Black Panthers, I gotta draw Huey P. Newton. I got a lot of people on my thing to draw. But I think that's mainly it. Carol's daughter say my fiance was just diagnosed with cancer last week. How
mm,
do I, as a significant other, support him and be there for him mentally and emotionally? Like, that was a question for you.
for one, you have to let him lead on how he feels because I know when I was going through, there's times where I needed to be alone and be with God. Even if you heard me crying, you had to go and just let me know they were there. Just say, I'm
Mm,
just sit a little minute and that's it. Because no matter what, he's the one that's going through it. And there's a lot of things because I had a lot of shame with the cancer. I would go to bathroom.
mm,
I had uncontrolled bowel syndrome. I'd be laying in the bed, wake up with a bowl of poop all out. It's not a thing, and I used to try to cry and hide it, throwing stuff in the garbage. And, it's just so shameful. So all you can do is not judge, be there, you know. When he goes for his treatment, go with him if you're possible. Prepare for it, fix soup, try to get what you can and just be there. That's the only thing you do is be there to rub his hand. And with him being a man, he's gonna go through his little ego. He's gonna feel less than a man because maybe he can't do the do anymore. And you gotta tell him,
mm.
because they judge how manly they are through sex. And once you start learning that, for one, don't even try to make them do it because what's going to be coming out of here is going to be poison anyway, for one.
Oh yeah, because with the radiation and all that stuff.
Right. So don't even try it.
That's a
Two,
I think with
enjoy
something like that,
it.
it's more of a mental thing to deal with. You got to let people deal with their emotions. You can't suppress them cuz you know how people say when people get sick, they get hell in them. I
Yeah,
don't
that's
know. I don't think it's hell. I just think it's they trying to figure what's going on, especially if you're looking at your body or you looking at your hair and you trying to like who is that? I remember Bob Marley when he got cancer.
mm,
He looked in the mirror. He was like, "Who that is?" He didn't even know who he was. He was like,
right.
"They say that's you." He said, "Nah, that's not me. I don't know who that is." So
No. And by the time he took his last breath, believe me, cancer took everything out of him. He didn't even looked the same. He looked totally different.
yeah,
It
yeah,
stripped
that's
his dignity. So the only thing you could do is just be supportive. When he says leave him alone, don't get upset. Just go in another room, pray, ask God for wisdom. Whatever you do, ask for wisdom. Don't ask for anything else because see, when you ask for wisdom, God will tell you what to do and what not to do. Because no one knows him better than God. So just ask for the wisdom to be able to do what you got to do and just be there for him. That's all
yeah.
you need to do. Be there for him and let him know that you love him. And when he starts feeling like he's not a man, tell him that. Are you serious? When you were here, you're more man than I ever thought that I ever. Just boost his ego, make him feel good, make him feel supportive. That's all.
Y'all in the chat, y'all send Miss Carol's journey some beautiful energy,
Yes, yes.
positive energy. That's a heavy thing.
To carry for both. See, people don't realize that when that person going through cancer, you go through it too. You
She
know.
said he start radiation next month. He had 20 treatments again. Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And find out what to do. Wherever the radiation's at, find out what to put on his skin because he might get burnt and be a little sore from there. Okay. But on that note, I'm gonna say I thank you, Khadija, for allowing me up here and
Yes,
be.
man. You know I had to have you because you had to tell this story and all us women. I mean, it's guys. I could look at the analytics and all that. It's guys come, but it's more women. But I'm like the guys be they don't never say nothing. We be seeing them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They be in the clouds on the porch, like they say, hiding in the bushes.
Hey
Even mine,
y'all. Hey
my
y'all
uncle. Yeah. But don't let them think, man, don't think that can't happen to you. I have an uncle that had cancer twice, breast cancer. So don't, it doesn't just happen to women.
Oh yeah. Oh
You know,
yeah.
just let
I
you
know
know.
that's scary. I got myself quick and to be honest with you, the person that I was dealing with at that time, around 2015, I felt like he was the cancer. So it's like as soon as I released him and it was the universe saying, get rid of him And then we, oh yeah, we put this in and you think it's camp, but it wasn't. Once I got rid of him, everything, my life
So,
got so much better. Then I end up with another one and I got rid of him. So I'm in a
uh,
beautiful space right now.
and sometimes that's where you got to be in order to find you and to find your peace with your universe and with God and or whatever.
Yeah, I'm to be honest with you, beloved, I'm in a beautiful peace. I don't bother nobody. I'm in my own world. To be honest, if I could just sit home for the rest of my life, read my books, paint my paint,
You will.
and
You
play with my
will. I
dogs and my
will.
cats and go look at
You know
nature.
what they be trying to fix me up? You still got that groove, Miss T. I'm like, honey. I don't want no man. I don't want no woman. I don't want nothing. I got my daughter. They a pain in the ass. My children, my grandchildren. That's it. I don't have room for anybody else other than me in my house. I don't want it. I don't want no man lifting up one cheek. I bathe when I want to bathe. I,
Yes, I love being in my bed by myself. I'm the
that's
only
why
daughter that
I.
hasn't got married. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm weird. Like I don't know what that's about. So I
You
question
know,
myself why I'm not
you
like other
feel
people sometimes. Like, but when I be around my friends and stuff, and they be like, "I need me a husband. I need me a husband." I be like, "That's for you. It ain't for me." Cause I'm not gonna get no crumbs from nobody. When you with me, you with me. You not with Tom, Dick, Sally, Sue. You just with me, and it's dangerous. Like you were saying earlier
um,
about the STDs and the
I
just the energy that they put in you. You
right.
know.
I make so many errors and I don't make good choices, so forget it. I give up. I want nothing to do with it. When I want my peace, I go in my yard. I talk to my tomatoes and all that other stuff. I have my little grandbaby running around. I got a fenced in yard. I do what I gotta do. I don't want no, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay with me. I love me. So
Me
I'm okay.
too, beloved. Me too.
And when
Me
I
too.
see it, "Well, I get invited place," and they say, "Miss Ceya, I don't want to. I just don't have that. I don't have the mental." Last time I went out with someone, you know what? I went into a bar. Excuse me. You know what they said at the end there?
O-
It's the other phone. This is what they did.
On the phone the whole time.
When I was in the 80s, and I love reggae, right? We danced. We
Men don't know
danced.
chivalry no more. They don't know how to woo you no more. This guy want to take me out Wednesday. I'm debating if I'm gonna go or not. He been trying to take me out for the longest. He was like, "Can we go out to eat and go out to dinner?" He a cool dude, but I
If
don't
you want
know. I
to,
might cancel it. I didn't cancel it a couple of times.
I've done that. I say yeah, and then I lay in the bed and start thinking about it, and then next thing you know, I'm doing everything else, and it's like, nah, I can't, I
I
can't.
believe me, I done did it so many times with him. And I tell you, he on my behind. He called when I was, and I said, "Didn't I tell this man I was gonna go live?" Like, I'm the type of person, I don't like talking on the phone all the time with men. I just like to be in my own little world. I'm just comfortable where I'm at. And when I did allow somebody to come in, they was the devil, so I sent them
Yeah,
back, and
it's
I'm
like,
good now. It been a year.
and not only that, what you do, you don't want him saying you always doing it. You're in there painting, and you act like I ain't here. You got a business. What do you think this is?
And it's
You
crazy because I remember my high school boyfriend, I think it was around like in 2017. We was trying to rekindle something. And I was like, "Well, I paint all the time and I have my lights on consistent in my room." And he was like, "Oh, I don't care about that. I don't care about that." Then I remember he came, he thought, "You gonna turn them lights off?" I just looked at him. It was 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock? No, I gotta work. You talking about? You gonna turn them lights? You better go home. See, I ain't gonna lie, I went ghost on this behind. He's like, "What did I do?" You just don't know. You messing. You come with me and my art. That's like me and my gun. Me and my art. No, you can't do that. Bye
you
bye.
can't do that. You can't do that. Oh,
That's not happening.
well,
This
I
right
want to
here
say
pays my
why you
bills. This take care of me, and it
yes.
also helps heal me. It's
Mm-hmm.
more of a healing thing. Even when Tatum say that when she couldn't find me and I was putting videos up in the last 2 years, one every now and then, another one every now and then. I still was painting, I just wasn't sharing, because
Mm-hmm.
I still had a business, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna do this. Beloved, when I was in ICU with those fibroids and my hemoglobin's on the 3, they came. I had a Muslim doctor. This was like an Arab Muslim. He came in ICU and he said, "Khadija," I said, "Assalamu alaikum." Guess what I was doing in ICU? Painting earrings. I was painting some earrings and they still them out. They bished me Allah. And he walked in and they looking at the chart and looking at me and looking at the chart. And they said usually when your hemoglobin is at a 3 and a 4, they usually die within getting the blood transfusion. I looked at them. I said, I ain't going nowhere. I got too much to do. And they just couldn't believe it. I was sitting there painting my earrings. I'm not going nowhere. And a lot of people might don't agree with this, but this is me until I'm ready.
Mhm, mhm,
Until I'm
mhm,
ready. And that's gonna be when I'm an old lady. And
mhm,
I'm gonna go and I'm gonna clean my house up like my ancestors did. I'm gonna
mhm.
give things away that you know that I because I can't take to the next reality. I'm gonna lay in my bed and close my eyes and I'm gonna go on to sleep. That's how
Mhm.
I'm leaving this world. That's just what I say, and that's what it's gonna be.
Well, life and death is in the power of the tongue, so you speak it, baby.
Yeah, and it ain't gonna be from no disease. It's gonna be when this body just can't do it no more.
Right, right. But on
Yep.
that note, we're gonna go, and I'm gonna go too. So, like
Thank
people,
you all that stayed for the chat. Y'all thank Miss TR. Y'all make sure y'all follow her on her social media. Y'all will see her with her beautiful locks, with her pretty self.
thank
And
you,
she's still pretty. Them
thank
locks
you.
still there. They just there spiritually. And
Uh-huh.
we gonna talk. We gonna do some collaborations together.
I
And
hope not only with you, I want to be able to be, to draw a sisterhood. We're all we like I say, each one teach one. Just
yes, that's one of the black sayings, even from the Black Panthers. Each one teach one.
and you know what? It's good to have those old fashioned composition books. Those black and white
I
books.
got some of them around here.
Yeah, you could put a pretty cover on it, put a little pin on it if you want, and keep it by your bed. So as you get that unction, you write it down. You write it down, make it plain. Because once you write it down, it's gonna stay.
When I tell you, when you write it down, it's gonna manifest.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
gonna manifest because a lot of things that I don't wrote down in my phone, in the little books you got. I got all kind of little
And date
books,
it. And date
and
it.
I look
And
at it and I
date it.
be like, I said that, and it's happened. So I believe in manifestation. Me personally, I believe in controlling my own destiny, being it is. I done did it. It done happened. I know that I'm a divine one. I don't walk and live in fear. I'm security minded because we live in a crazy world, but I'm in a happy space in my life, and the only thing you could do is just go. And my son told me one time. He said, "Mama, bad stuff happened because we had the hurricane thing, and the power was out for like 3 days. Well, I think it
Mm-hmm.
was last month."
Yeah,
My
yeah,
son
yeah.
said,
Because I didn't hear from you, and I reached out to you on in Instagram, like, hey, are you okay?
"Yeah, you did. A couple people did." And my son always tell me. He said, "Mom, you be calm." Because one thing about me, I'm listening to the inner God in me, and I'm strategizing what should I do next, and it never leads me wrong. You know
No,
how sometimes when your spirit say do this and you don't listen and you do something else, I always listen to what that spirit say. I
that's good.
always listen.
Me too.
I'd be a little disobedient to me. I always say to me because I know God is within me. So I always be disobedient to me. And I ain't gonna say I pay for it, but I do pay for it in a way like when I was dealing with this dude, I knew we supposed to just been quote unquote friends. And I went against what I supposed to did. I was brought in his life to help guide and heal him. And I was fighting it. And I kept saying no, 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 no. And I went against that in the hell that he gave me in the last 2 years. That's what happened because I went against me. It was loud. It was so many different
You went against
times.
you,
Leave that
what
alone.
man was
That
telling
man,
you to
that
do.
man was the devil. That man was the devil to the point. Candace, no, that man wanted to put my news on social media. I said, go ahead on. I'm a natural girl. I don't care. That ain't gonna hurt. One thing about me, nothing like stuff like that don't hurt me. I'm not, I don't walk in shame and none of that. Because if it's me, I'm like, that's me. Hell, I look good, don't I? But that let you know he was like, your business gonna fall. I'm like, so all this time this person was with me, he was thinking. It was like one
He was
minute, like,
plotting. He was plotting. Yeah.
yeah, like how can you say that the things? Like, I
Because
was
he
like, I
was
don't
used
never in my life
by-
want to see him again.
that's
And it
because he
was
was used
October the 1st, 2022. That was my last time seeing him, and I will that was it. That was it. And I don't never want to see him again. And I
by
pray to the universe and the God in me, the universe of the God of my ancestors, the God in me, that don't allow me to ever see that energy ever again. I don't know, just like my sister, I don't want to see those. Keep them away from me, far away. And they have, and it been a year, and I'm in a good space.
I'm glad. Okay, love everyone. I thank you for allowing me to come up again.
Yes,
Uh,
ma'am.
let's stay
I
together.
enjoyed you too, beloved. I feel like we're a part of each other some kind of way, but it'll give it'll whatever that is that I'm feeling. The universe will, let me know what I'm feeling. It'll give me that download. Feel like we was connected some kind of way. Nothing with me. Nothing ain't. I don't believe in coincidence. I believe in divine order.
It is there. It is even it's to learn the lesson or either to improve or I look at it this way. Even if you're up here, I need you to help me get where you're at.
Yes, and
And
it's
then
enough
we just
room for
keep
all
going. And if
us. We
you
all don't
don't,
have to be there.
yeah,
White
yeah,
folks do it all the time. They don't even sometimes they don't even like each other, but they gonna help each other get there. They do it all the time, especially in business. They will
yeah.
pull.
Strength there when there's unity, there's strength. You know.
Oh
So
yeah, that's why I call. Well, the reason why I named myself, but when I was a poet for 13 years. I used to travel and do poetry a lot of places, and the reason why I called myself Unity because Elijah Muhammad said the biggest cannon that we can fire is our unity. And
hmm
then as I got a little older in my wisdom, I'm learning just because I I ain't gonna lie, at one time I felt like anybody black, give them the benefit of the doubt because they was black. That's how my mindset was because the way I was raised. But now I'm at a point in my life. If you're a good person, that's why I always said at the end of my thing, respect those that respect you. You know, because just because you black don't mean that you can't be an enemy.
that's
And
right.
I had to learn that because religion had me, growing up in a nation, love your brother, love your sister, but love those that love you, respect those that respect you, because the ones that look just like
Away
you can
from
hurt
those
you.
who don't, and stay away from those that when you like you go there because I don't want.
Yeah, exactly. So that's where I'm at. But thank you,
Okay.
Queen. I'm gonna let everybody go. I'll see y'all on the 29th and the 30th. Thank you, beloved. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed this conversation. I needed it, and I'm pretty sure all the ladies need it. And I will see y'all on the 29th.
Okay. All right. Blessings. Bye bye.
Bye bye.